My name is Gina Doost, and I'm the founder of What the Doost. My journey started when I was about 14 years old. I'm turning 32 this year, so just to give you an idea of my age. My mom was working at a Persian television network, so she suggested that I go and do an internship at her network, which I did, and it was really fun. And if it wasn't for that, I don't think I'd be here today. And it was not very conventional as far as like journalism goes. It was very much like a conversation, and I think that's when I learned I'm able to like bring these people, like I can't sing, I can't act, but I admire that so much, and if I can shine the light on somebody else's success, on their story, and help inspire others through that, like I think that's all I really want. That was my start when I was 14 years old, and because of that experience I decided to study journalism in school. And one of the most amazing things I found, like when I stepped into journalism I was on camera, but at my school they made me do everything from behind the scenes to writing to like everything you can think of, and I found so much joy behind the camera, and that's what I did. So like as a crazy, girl just out of college, I decided with like less than $300 on my account, I decided to get a one-way ticket, move to New York, because I felt like, well, if I'm going to make it in journalism, I better go to the headquarters, and that's New York City. And somehow, some way, within the 5th day, I managed to get my resume across this desk of Esther Pessin, the co-executive at Inside Edition CBS, and I got the position. I was a story coordinator. I spent about 2 years there, moving from, story coordinating to AP producing to editing a little bit. I was even the makeup artist on some occasions. Started blogging on the side. It was something my professor always recommended, but I never took serious until I was by myself and I had the time. And I was covering like breaking news, politics, things that like are heavy on you. So after work, blogging became just like an outlet for me. I started writing about inspirational content, things that inspired me, hoping that it would reach others and inspire them. And soon I started getting in letters from places that I didn't even know existed. Like, I think the one email that really did it for me was this girl in this town wrote to me, but it was like, I really love this, I want to pursue this, I want to be somebody, and like your article helped. And I remember I took this email and I went to my 2 best friends, who one of them's now my husband, Jeff and Nadia, and I was like, you guys, look what happened. And it was Jeff's help that got me to the point that I am here now, where he came up with the name What the Doost. Doost is my last name, but it also means friend and love. So my message always was to put love out there and to put friendship out there, because I think that we all need each other. And he helped me build it into what it is today. I remember this was back when I was like broke as shit. But I had this one fur coat and I had this like one nice outfit. And I would put it on, I grabbed Jeff, he had a make-believe camera, but we would show up to New York Fashion Week backstage and we would act as if we had an interview with a designer. And because of the way we were dressed, they would believe us and they would be like, oh, my bad, I'm sorry, yeah, right away, let you right in. My whole point was everyone was talking about why you should be wearing this or why you should not be wearing that, and I didn't care about it. I wanted to know what made the designer get up every day and push through with their passion and follow through with their dream, what inspired them, because maybe, just maybe, if I shared what inspired them, other girls, other guys that don't have the same opportunities, maybe they'll read it and they'll think, fuck, if he did it, I can do it. I admire stories, I admire struggle, I admire passion and dreams, so that's what I wanted to share. And from there we went into travel. I started working with the New York Times, and we established a great relationship with tourism boards in different nations to go there and report on not the touristy things, but to sit down and talk to their politicians, to local artists, to people in the neighborhood, to people that actually make the island or the land what it is, and I found that at least my audience, they wanted to know those stories. They were curious like we were. As women, and especially women of color, we're really hard on ourselves. I remember working non-stop. Like, I had, a 9 to 5 to pay my bills. I had my blog that was my passion, and then on the side to raise to even more money, because New York is fucking expensive, I was a waitress. And I remember there were some days where I would get especially during fashion week, I would get 2 hours of sleep, and that was if I was lucky. And I felt like I was carrying my whole world on my shoulder, but not just mine, what I represented, what my siblings saw in me, what my family saw in me. I was like, there's no quitting, there's just go, 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 and I was burning out. What I'm doing isn't for me. I'm trying to create a legacy, an empire that helps other people get to a better place and not have to struggle the way I struggled. But if I'm trying to help others, how am I going to do that if I'm holding my breath through it? People put so much negativity into the word selfish, but it should be self-full, because if you're not taking care of yourself, then how are you going to take care of others? And I think that's what self-care comes down to, being able to take some time out of your day, out of your life, to do something that makes you truly happy, and being unapologetic about it. I think those moments are important, and I'm incorporating that more into my life now than I did before, because I really understand the impact it has on my well-being. And when I'm fully rested, when I'm fully fueled, I give my best to the world. Easy. Every project I get, I have to run it by Jeff, because he helps me really determine where's this brand coming from, what's their message, where do they see themselves 10 years from now. Because if I get involved with the brand, no matter how hot they are now, if they're not doing the right thing, then I'm gonna fuck myself over and the brand that I created and the community that I created 10 years down the line, because I was I was looking at the money, I wasn't looking at it. It's so important to align yourself with the brands that you believe in, because these things, once you're attached, the next 10, 15, 20, 50 years from now, it needs to be somebody that you're still proud to say, oh yeah, I partnered with them. And it wasn't until recently that I learned that there's power in saying no. There's if I don't want to fucking hang out with you, no. And I don't need to tell you why. I just say no. No is a full sentence. And I learned that because I'm such a people pleaser, that saying a no and standing your ground, there's so much respect to that. Find an accredited journalism school. Communication, all that second degree is not gonna cut it for you. You need something that gives you hands-on experience. Where I went to California State of Northridge, so CSUN, and they made me do everything from behind the scenes assistance, on camera, scrapping, trying to get the things together, investigative journalism, photojournalism, everything you can think of that has to do with this industry, I had to do. And it wasn't until I did it with my own hands and my own experience that I figured out, oh shit, this works for me and this doesn't work for me. And it's totally fine to be just good at one thing, but you need to know the different positions in your field, because you're gonna have to hire those kind of people. So if you have no knowledge, you're gonna get fucked over. You have to have the knowledge. And while you're at school, hands-on experience, best thing ever. Create your own projects. If you don't see the kind of art you want, create it. There's no reason you can't. You can do it on your phone, you can get a camera. If you're at school, they loan you the equipment all the time. So there's really no excuse. If you find beauty in a field or in a subject, share that. Share it with your vision, your eye. People don't realize that the way you view life, the world, what you see is not what others see. So if you can capture that, even for a moment, that's fucking art. So I think if you're starting out, align yourself with brands and companies that you already admire, and it's a lot about collaboration. It's a lot about giving out freebies, creating high quality content to show the world that you can do this. You can make something epic happen with your eye and your creative viewpoint. Build a community, build an audience that trusts you, because if you don't have them, you have nothing. Find 3 brands that you really align yourself with and start creating high quality content for them. And I bet you, like, they'll reach out to you. They'll see what you're doing. If not, the internet is amazing. You can find anybody's email. Pitch them. If you have an idea, reach out. But when you're doing it, be genuine, because it really all comes down to the truth in your approach. My favorite quote of all time, hasn't changed, is by Audrey Hepburn. And it's, the best thing to hold on to in life is each other. Because, I mean, you guys, we're humans, we're emotional, we're beautiful, and we need each other. After a long day, like, I look forward to talking to my friends. I look forward to talking to Jeff because it's real, it's authentic, and I think we need to always remember that we need to hold on to each other. We need to love each other. We need to be kind, forgiving, and appreciative, and I don't think we do that as a society enough.